bentar. I have to talk this. I said this in the other podcast. Yang bule aja nggak sok-sok bule. Ini yang nggak bule sok-sok bule.
Hold on.
From motor Mio.
Yeah.
No.
Diskriminasi orang ini nggak tahu Mio ya. Oh yeah, you have to play with me ya.
Okay.
Nggak pernah miskin, Pak.
Oh, mau kenalan sama miskin? Nanti aku kenalin ya.
I don't know what it means.
Oke kaya.
Welcome.
Modif motor ojol. Hi, how are you? Good?
Good. You look like have like problem.
Yeah, I
look
have a
like-
lot of problems.
You haven't slept in 5 days. What's
3
going-
actually.
Oh, wow.
I'm so stressed, man.
What
Honestly.
happened?
What's going on?
Yeah, my work, like I fix bikes and stuff, right?
Okay.
And they're like complaining, like why it takes so long and stuff. Okay, bikes is not like like in one day, so stressed, man.
Well, I guess it depends how up the bike is.
I mean, if the bike is completely destroyed,
Yeah,
maybe you'll think,
yeah, of course. It's almost all the bikes that I fix. It's like really fucked up. I mean, like I don't only change the the body and stuff.
Uh-huh.
I fix the engine and stuff.
Oh,
The
okay.
engines are really messed up. Like fucked up at all. I need a
You
drink.
look like, yeah.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Okay,
As well,
okay. This is like martini,
coffee lemonade.
coffee lemonade. Smells good though.
Yeah?
It tastes good.
Wait.
We put a bit of poison in there. So,
Poison.
Ah! Very good. Who made it? You?
yeah.
Damn.
Why I'm
what
not
was that?
convinced?
What was that
Convinced?
scream?
Why I'm
No,
not
it's
convinced that it's good?
the character. I'm Spanish. Like Spanish have character.
Okay.
Yes, as a
And the
human being.
character is to scream?
Yes, it's like saying the good thing,
So-
right?
okay.
Ah,
Oh,
You
so
have to
need
have
be
that
really,
character.
You're
Yeah.
really loud.
That's it. We're
Yeah?
talking about that's it. You have to be
Right.
loud. You have to be loud.
Am I right?
Yes.
Why you
Yes.
Why you look like a mouse? Like,
Because I am just a fragile girl.
fragile. Wow. Fragile.
I am already
Oh
in
my
pain.
God.
Just from that.
In
alone.
pain. You have to get used to it.
I don't
So
like to
so
scream.
Spanish people just really loud. You guys just kind of like come
Yeah,
here, like expressive,
Yeah,
colonize
we
people.
are really expressive.
Colonize people.
Colonize?
What?
Jauh banget tuh ya, colonize.
I love how because like you speak loudly,
Every
we're
job is
all
okay,
starting to
right?
speak
So
loudly
you
too.
want to speak like
No, no, no.
so?
It's okay.
No.
It's
Just,
completely
hey,
okay.
hey, be who you are.
Ah!
Yeah, even though it's wrong, but be yourself.
It's not wrong. Who said it's wrong? Who said it's right or wrong?
I just say it.
That's for you, not
Usually-
for me.
I just say it.
You know, usually when people come in with
Yes.
trouble, they're
Yeah.
like sad.
They're
I think
sad?
I think you're more angry.
No. Okay, let's make another scene, okay? I come and I go.
Are you okay? Is everything okay?
No, I need your hand. And I need your hand too.
Okay.
It's okay.
I need your support.
It's
You want me to be like that? It doesn't look like me.
Fair.
But,
Right?
okay,
Fair point,
so
though,
this
fair
is
point.
you sad.
I'm never sad.
You
But
never
said
sad.
but you came here. You came here.
I came here like mixed. Angry
You're mixed.
and no, I'm not mixed. I'm
Okay.
pure. Okay?
You're pure.
My heart is pure too.
Okay.
But people f***ed up.
Okay.
I'm very stressed with the bikes. That's the point.
Bikes.
So what's
Bikes.
going on with the bikes?
So basically, I fix bikes, okay?
Okay.
From motor taxis and stuff.
Okay.
And then they're like all so messed up, right? And then like people are asking me like every day when my bike is done, where my bike is done. Well, I'm doing my best, right?
Right.
Because like fixing bikes is not easy.
course.
Like okay, let's say this bike has a problem engine, okay, and the other bike has a problem with the one part of another engine. Like so the parts that I have to buy, it's not easy because they're old bikes. Bikes motor tahun 2009
Okay.
or maybe 2006.
Okay.
So they don't do the parts again
Anymore, right?
anymore.
right.
So I have to akalin. That's what make me stress. And they're like, "What's up, Bang Bule? When is my mic? Oh yeah, Mister." They call me Mister.
It's so funny. I don't know what akalin means.
Akalin.
It's like trying to.
Coba lah kau kasih tahu dulu nih.
I feel like you two like just kind of
This is
like
awful.
switch
Oh,
up.
yeah. Aska.
Yeah, like got switch up.
Yeah.
The first time-
Bentar dulu. Bentar. I have to talk this. I said this in the other podcast. Yang bule aja nggak sok-sok bule. Ini yang nggak bule sok-sok bule.
Oh, hold on. I'm not trying to be bule. This is just how I talk.
Why are you feeling that way? I didn't point at you.
He's
You were doing this.
No. That's again. We're
You're
Spanish.
doing this.
We talk like this. I'm not. This is pointing. This is
Yeah.
not pointing.
This can
right?
be pointing.
so
No.
you just kind of like Italia.
Yeah,
Italia, that's
with the
it.
head.
Yeah, ini kalau
Alright.
dibalikin makan nasi padang kayak gini ya.
He's more Indonesian than I am. This is crazy.
But like how? Okay, so you grew up here, obviously.
Yeah.
That's why you speak good bahasa.
Yeah.
Do you have like the same kind of like problem with Aska? You don't really speak
But you
English.
started English, or what do you
I
mean?
went
He started speaking bahasa.
bahasa because my mother tongue it's Spanish.
Okay.
Okay, in the house I speak Spanish and stuff, but I went to a BIS, Bali International School. back
Okay.
then. I was speaking like American English, but my dad told me that he wants me to get the really bahasa, the bahasa like like the locals,
Okay.
and then that's why he told me like to go to local school
Okay.
di pedalaman in really into like hutan, like
Right.
forest. There was a mini school there. I went there. Yeah, sumpah, I'm not lying.
Is it a school or is it like a?
That's why I'm like
It's
confused. My
like
dad is trying to kill me or what?
It's like, why is the teacher a bear?
And then I had the same problem as you.
Okay.
I started like learning bahasa when I was like around like maybe 8-9 years.
Okay.
Years old.
Right.
Yeah, and then but because I like I was like hanging out every day with the locals and stuff. That's why I got the bahasa.
Like really quickly.
Yeah, really quick. And maybe it's because I have a linguistic.
Okay.
Linguistic is like you get like so easily like fluent talking.
In
I
some
wish I
other
had that.
languages.
Yeah. So I have that. That's what they told me I
Okay.
was good at, because my mom has I mean like she doesn't have. She can speak like 8 languages.
8.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
How much can you?
Not 4.
Okay.
4.
What's it? Spanish.
English,
Bahasa.
Balinese, and Indonesian.
Okay.
Okay.
That's like the 4 language and
Okay.
stuff. But yeah, that's why it's so easy for me. Like I'm speaking English right now, right? And then kayak if I change to bahasa juga bisa gitu. Pero si por ejemplo estoy hablando castellano, that's Spanish.
Oh wow.
Yang cang ngomong bahasa Bali beda, that's Balinese.
Okay.
You
Oh,
see?
that's
So
great.
that's
That just kind of like
that
so
is insane.
smooth.
That is
That's why
insane.
you get what I mean,
It's
right?
like rapping.
Have you tried to rap in like
Oh, yeah.
different languages?
4 different languages. That's actually kind of funny.
I tried, but it was like quite hard. And I say, I don't like this. I don't like this.
I love.
So you just focus on fixing bikes.
Yeah.
I love the idea that like if we're in a mall or something and
Uh-huh.
someone asks something in Barcelona,
Uh-huh.
they're asking me. I'm like, oh no, you have to ask him. Someone asks in English.
100%.
Oh, you have to ask him.
100%.
But I mean, like, it's really, like, the privilege, I think, of, like, speaking good bahasa,
Yeah.
even the slang
Yeah.
language, right? I mean, like, I really speak it. It's bisa belagak gila, like, playing crazy, playing dumb. I really love playing dumb. Like, honestly, I really love playing dumb.
Okay.
People, like,
Are you doing it now?
no, because people
Okay.
already know me. Like it's quite hard. Lah. If I use a masker, I can. Like, but sometimes when I'm like bored in the house, I go to a mall and I speak like, in English and stuff, and the guy doesn't understand, right? And then he's saying like, ngomong apa si bule ini nggak ngerti aku gitu. And I do understand it. He was talking about me, but I said you're talking about me. Like and I was like, bang, gue bisa bahasa Inggris kok bang. Lah. And he was like langsung muka kotak gitu, and that's the best part, like making people muka kotak, muka tolol, itu paling enak.
Why do you have Medan accent?
That's why.
Why do you have that accent?
Aska.
No, because out of like, not even as a bule, like in general, your Barcelona is just so good.
Yeah.
I need to take lessons man.
Damn.
From
Ish.
you.
Yes. Coba, can you say one word in Indonesian?
You
Yeah,
can
bisa.
you can teach each other. You can teach him Bahasa, you can teach him English.
Yeah. So what can you teach me then? Mandarin?
Chinese.
We teach
Let's
Mandarin. There we go.
go. Let's go.
But she knows every other language that we know though, except for Spanish.
Iya sih.
I speak English, Indonesian, Chinese, a little bit Japanese. I learned Korean.
Korea?
Korea.
Upa?
Yeah.
They're saying that in the movie,
What is
right?
it?
Yes,
Upa,
oppa.
upa?
What is it?
Oppa means like an endearment
Oh, oppa, yeah.
term for
No,
like,
oppa is kakek, no?
No, what is upo?
That's appa.
Apa?
No,
Apa
that,
is apa? Apa is what in Indonesian? Apa?
Allahu
Apa,
Akbar.
Right? I'm right,
Yeah.
right? Aska?
You're right.
Apa, it's what in
No, but
Indonesian,
in
right?
Korean.
In Korean, apa? Tarik nafas. Yeah, take a air. And you throw the air. Bau naga. Ya kan?
This is the most I've ever seen her laugh ever in here.
See?
I've never
This
seen her laugh
is
this much.
uncomfortable laugh. This is kind of like I am trying to contain everything. Oh my
Tarik
god.
nafas.
Oh
I give you my
God.
energy. Hold my hand.
Breathe, breathe.
Hold my hand.
Breathe.
There you go. I give energy. I give energy. Aska, give a little bit of energy.
Breathe, breathe.
Okay, can
I'm fine.
oh, you're fine? Okay.
You gotta take a
I'm fine.
sip
I'm
first.
fine.
We factory reset all of us.
So because you grew up in Bali,
Yeah.
right? And then you go to school in the shady looking building.
which, I, which I don't believe is a school, by the way.
It was a school basically because I was using like
The uniform?
yeah, uniform merah putih.
Okay.
Putih merah.
Yeah, okay.
Celana merah.
So you like all your friends are like locals.
Yeah, all locals.
All locals. Okay. Do you have like a maybe because like here's the problem that we talked before, right? There's some bules that like come to Indonesia and then they just refuse not to
Oh,
mingle
yeah.
with the locals.
Yeah,
a lot of
I know.
bullets
A
don't
lot
wanna
of people.
speak Bahasa. That's the thing.
Yeah, I mean like I don't know why, but basically I don't know why actually they don't want to mingle with the locals and stuff. But actually, like you have to be if you come to a country, a place, you have to be like friendly with
Yeah, of course.
the boss of the house. Like me coming here, right? You guys are the boss here, right? So I have to be friendly. I cannot be like an asshole here, like
You
Well-
can.
masa gue datang-datang lihat masa gua datang, nggak mungkin juga kan? Of course no, right?
I'll be like that.
You
I
get what I
like
mean?
this guy.
You get what I mean, right?
Right.
You get what I mean. You have to be like, like chill with the locals and stuff, But maybe they're not comfortable, like that's why they don't want to mingle with the locals. And
I think
stuff.
that's the thing about like what is it? Foreigners in any country. That's the
Yeah,
thing.
in
Because
any
like
country.
a lot of people just want to go there for like with the scenery.
Yeah.
Or like watching the things
Uh-huh.
like that. They don't bother learning the language. They don't bother doing anything.
Yeah.
What I learn and what I like to do every time I go to a country, I
Uh-huh.
always try to learn at least a tiny bit of
Yeah.
the language. Just saying like hello.
Yes.
Yeah.
excuse me,
Yeah.
You know?
But here's the thing though. I'm just gonna say it's not all, but most of the time it's Americans
Uh-huh.
who. I was in China, and there's this dumb.
I like that word. Can you say it one more time, please?
Dumb.
Oh, damn.
Bleep, bleep.
Beep.
She took a bus in China.
Uh-huh.
And of course, like she talked to the driver.
Yeah.
Right. And then the driver said something in Chinese, and then this woman said like, "Speak English."
Okay. Well, yeah.
To a Chinese
Who's
driver
Chinese?
in China.
Well,
You know.
I mean, there's a reason why like a lot of the Karen memes are from America, right?
Yeah,
People-
yeah,
yeah.
People who are like,
But what I think about that scene, it's that she has to respect, like she's coming to Chinese.
Yeah,
She
Yeah.
came to
obviously.
China, right? And suddenly she went to a bus and the driver doesn't speak English. Of course, man. Like he's a driver.
Yeah, he's just a
Like, I mean,
driver.
like,
He's not
I
gonna
mean, like
like.
edukasinya, the education is
Yeah.
so different. Come on, like.
Exactly.
Berarti yang bodoh siapa?
And it's
Yeah.
not just like, why do you expect him to talk to be able to speak English?
You go to China expecting there'll be subtitles. There's not like what the hell's going on. No, but is it like a tour bus? No, right?
No,
Okay, well
That's why. You get what I mean, right?
it's not a tour
If
bus.
it's a tour bus, first of all, she's still rude. But,
Yeah.
but
But,
like makes
There's
sense.
like
lah.
understandable if she
Yeah.
said like, "Hey, speak English," if it's a tour bus.
Yeah.
But it's just a bus.
It's a public bus.
That's why.
Bus.
It's
Speak
crazy.
English, goddammit.
It's crazy.
Yeah, sometimes like I think sometimes when we go to a country abroad, wherever, we have to, like, I think, for my part, right, we have to, like, like, being a part of them, because we don't know the culture there.
Yeah.
Fair.
That's why if you really see the news and stuff, there's a lot of bule in Bali, Blaga Gila,
Yeah, but that's a good thing about like having a lot of languages because you can speak Indonesian. That means if you go to
Yeah.
I think understanding the language automatically makes it so you're more respectful.
Yeah, of course. Even say, I mean, like, if you, okay lah, Indonesian, it's easy,
Yeah.
right? It's not like hard to like learn it. Let's say like the accent of Sumatra.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't remember when I started learning it. It was just because I was hanging out with a lot of guys from Sumatra. That's why I got it.
Oh, you just can't.
Yeah.
There's a thing called blank accent.
Okay.
What's blank accent?
Blank accent is when you don't have a specific accent when you speak in a certain language.
Okay.
It's mostly like English, for example. Someone with blank accent is also have the equal with they have another language that they can speak. That's why like they don't have that specific accent, and then they can just like basically a sponge.
Okay.
Where they can just kind of like absorb
or the
accent.
yeah.
Do I have an accent? I don't think I do.
You
right?
don't.
I
You
don't have
don't.
an
You don't have the accent like
No.
you speak in English. Just like
Yeah,
Speak English.
Yeah, English.
But in Bahasa you have.
Yeah, I mean
Kind of.
like kalau misalkan aku mau ngomong pakai bahasa Indonesia dengan baik dan benar, I can.
Yeah, but
See?
you usually.
Tapi kalau aku mau belagak gila, ya kan? You get what I mean, right?
Yeah,
So it's like, yeah, I'm used to it. Like
Right.
what I get, it's
Do you talk like that when you're at home with your parents? What language you speak in
in my house I speak like Spanish when I'm with my mom, right?
Right,
Okay.
But now I live alone with my workers and stuff. I speak like the really bahasa,
Okay.
bahasa dengan baik dan benar, right?
So where did you learn English?
I went to English first.
Yeah, but then you.
You went to
English
EF.
first. Yes, EF.
EF.
Back then.
English first is.
Do you know EF? It's an English language center.
What?
Yeah, it's a.
Oh yeah, I didn't like that reaction.
No, I'm just saying, like that's interesting because you went to an international school first.
Yeah,
right, you said?
but doesn't mean all bule speak but English.
No, but you went international and then you went to a.
Yeah.
To the
normal school.
local.
Yeah.
And then
Local school.
and then you went to an English language
Yes.
center.
Yeah. Just to learn the verbs. That's it.
I have okay.
Because the verb is quite like hard, right? I mean, like you have to really understand, right?
but I never understood the need to like learn those things. I don't know what a verb is until now.
Yeah.
I mean, tapi it's
It's important-ish.
Yeah,
it's
but,
quite different if you learn English. I think, my perspective, if you went to like an international school
Right.
and then you went to local school, the English that you get is different.
Yeah.
That's why you have to.
Really?
That's why in the local schools they teach you English. Ada kelas bahasa Inggris.
Yeah.
They teach you the verbs because they're mixing like words yang dimana nggak masuk gitu. It's not like it used to be there.
So it's not proper English.
Yeah,
or is it?
yeah. It's like
No. So I would say I went to public school in Jakarta when I was like middle school to high school, and I remember middle school, like from elementary school to middle school, every week we have to memorize certain verb, and then they will like the
Right.
memorization of verbs because that's what they teach.
Right.
What do you think about the reason though? Why as I said, the international school doesn't like teach you the verbs, but the local school teach you the verbs?
I think it's
Well-
different curriculum as well.
They teach like international school teaches verbs and like nouns and things like that, right? But like, I don't think it's that important because until now I don't understand it. I just like
Because you get used to it.
I think that's it, right? Because I get used to it that I don't
Yeah.
actually need it.
Yeah.
And also the amount of the English that been speaking in the school as well.
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like
that's
international school, they speak a lot of English
when
compared to
you're
like
on the break and stuff, right?
compared to like public school
Yeah.
or like
Yeah, yeah.
school in the woods. That's not really a school.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I love that school, huh? Tingkah juga kau ya.
How long did you like do? What is it? EF?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did
long?
like 3 months.
3 months.
3 months?
Yeah, that's it.
That's it.
Clearly,
That's
you needed
it.
more.
And I say ciao ciao. No, because I cannot like sit down, listen to someone talking about verbs. Okay,
yeah.
today I'm gonna nah, doesn't work with
I
me.
think just watching YouTube or like watching.
Yeah,
you know,
I mean, like back then
movies.
there was no YouTube, right?
Yeah.
And then what I did is like I set my mind. Okay, 3 months. That's it.
Okay.
And then I went to Pantai Kuta,
And I just talk to white people
Hey,
there.
man, how are you, man? Bintang satu, ah? Yeah, you know? I was like playing crazy, playing dumb, you know, like.
And then the other foreigners are like, "What in the world is going on?"
I was saved. You know why?
What?
Because I was like bule.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
because back again, not every bule, you
Yeah,
know,
of
like
course, of course.
speaks English. That's why if I don't have a good accent, it's okay. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's at the end of the day, it's the pede. You're pede or not.
Yeah.
Same like, let's say Ronaldo.
Yeah.
Does he speak like good English?
No.
Not at all.
Marquez doesn't have to speak good English and stuff. So it's a normal thing. It's a common thing.
Yeah, it's
Right.
as long as you like try. But that's
Yeah.
that's also kind of like a little bit the mindset of some like Indonesian people. They're afraid to talk in English.
Itu.
Yeah.
They
I mean, they think it's pretentious. And they think
one
it's,
and
like,
two, they were like thinking like they are afraid that they will
look dumb.
like look dumb because they mix the grammar,
Yeah,
mix the
yeah.
verb. But like little did they know, there are some white people out there that don't speak
There's not
good
yeah,
English, you know.
proper English.
Yeah, English is not only American and English, you know.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Not, I mean, like, what foreigners aren't only from America, right?
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
not the
yeah,
only other language,
Yeah.
right? But so that makes sense.
That's a big problem sih, I think. Even nggak tahu ya kalau sekarang ya, right now ya.
Right now, the Gen Z, Gen Alpha, also like is starting to speak in
Speak English,
English.
right?
A lot of them talk.
But in
English.
Jakarta,
Yeah.
That's true.
outside of Jakarta,
No,
they still even have the same mentally as in kayak nggak enak aku, nggak apa gitu.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, you wanna speak good English, you wanna speak broken English, it's okay. You know, like easy.
Yeah, it's as long as you can get what you want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
And I think it's more like as long as you also understand,
Yeah.
because like I think even like what Bahasa Indonesia, my Bahasa Indonesia isn't that good, but
It is good.
It's decent, but I can understand if someone talks to me.
Yeah,
Right?
of course.
I get what they want, and
Yeah,
I get
yeah.
like things like that, and I think that's kind of important, especially if you live here.
Yeah.
Right?
Do you ever meet like someone like a driver that speak fluent English?
Oh, I did.
Yeah?
I did. Yeah.
Where
Like,
was it?
If you close your eyes with this guy, I forgot. It was in Solo, I think.
In Solo.
Yeah, in Solo.
Solo,
Pedalaman.
fluent English.
Oh
Yeah.
wow. Okay.
He was like, if you're blind, okay, you speak like, if you hear him like speak
Right.
like total American guy,
Total American.
no
Really?
accent of Indonesian at all. I was like quite shocked though,
But
and I asked him, where do you learn like English and stuff? He said like, yeah, but, from like music and stuff.
really?
Yeah,
That's a real thing though. I have like
I
a
forgot.
Oh, that's
I
true.
think this guy. I remember he came with a Alia car, red. I still remember, and he was like quite. Sorry to say, fat. Okay,
Okay.
Uh-huh.
he was quite fat, but his English was like totally like amazed.
But he wasn't like anything foreign.
He was orang Jawa
completely-
Toto, man.
completely.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's the thing though. Like what you
learning
said.
like with song.
music.
I have like a Vietnamese friend.
Yeah.
He's this like 19, 20 years old kid, but he has like this very ghetto American like English,
yeah,
like a
that's true.
black rapper.
That's true. That's
right?
true.
And for some, the first time I met him, I thought he was like from the Bronx or something, you know. And I was like, have you lived in the U.S.? And then he was like, no, I'm just listening to Cardi B. so he just have that accent because he's been listening to Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion.
I mean, like that's quite easy
I
though.
mean, yeah.
I think it depends the things that you watch.
Yes.
The things that you hear.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have a good. I mean like, the reactions that I have when I speak English. It's because maybe I like to, like, back then, one of the movies. Okay, talking about movies that I learned English. It was like American Pie, if you know.
Oh,
I think you don't know, but you know.
I
Oh,
You know American
American
Pie?
Pie.
So that's why I mean, like, I learned
Yeah.
English from that movie too. Okay.
Yeah.
That's was the first years I start learning English and stuff. I think it depends on what you watch
Yes.
too,
Yeah.
the accent that you get.
Are you gonna make the requirements for you to fix their bike?
You have to speak Bahasa.
I have to speak Bahasa with me.
It's like someone speaks English. You're like, no.
I would
Okay,
love to. I would love to. I would love to. That's a good idea, though.
Right?
You're gonna lose some people. What about that guy like with the red car?
Okay, that guy. So yeah, we talked, and he told me he was like learning English from music and stuff. That's why. And then I mean, like, I think back again to the accent or the way of learning English. It's because what you hear can, I mean, like,
Yeah.
your
Of
friend.
course. Yeah.
It's kind of like a fact
let's
to
say,
you.
Let's say I have a friend. He's from Russia. If you hear him, his name is Tommy. If you hear him like speaking, it's like a totally black guy.
Oh yeah, no.
Like a
Really?
totally black
Okay.
I mean, like it depends on like what you listen to, where you
That's
are,
why.
things
That's why.
like that.
That's why I'm telling you. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
depends on like what you listen, what you see, what you
Yeah.
like.
The moment where I have accent when I speak English, it's like I don't know why, but the more drunk I am, the British I become.
The British.
Bawa!
So yeah, if I'm drunk, I'll start speaking like this.
Yeah, you're speaking like that right now.
That actually
Are you
sounds
drunk?
a lot more normal for you, I think.
What? What? But yeah,
What?
but if like the
What
more
do you think it is? Why?
I don't know. But the more drunk I am, the more British I become. And British Annie only appeared rarely.
Oh my god, you do no, but like normally. Now that I'm listening to it, normally you do sound like there's a hint of it. Because I kind of hear it.
Really?
Yeah.
You really see, right? I mean, like,
if you kind of
really
listen,
yeah,
there's a
yeah,
hint
yeah.
of British in it.
Yeah, a
I
little bit,
never
yeah,
noticed
yeah,
it until now, until you said that.
oh
Oh my god. Yeah. Well, that's crazy.
I know, it's crazy.
Well, you know, at least we all speak Bahasa Indonesia, so that means
Yeah.
that you can talk to the people that goes to
Yeah,
your
yeah.
workplace.
Yeah.
a lot
Normally, I
easier.
talk to them like in Bahasa. And there is one story I remember. So I smoke, right? I go to a supermarket. I came, okay? So
Damn.
because the cigarettes,
Damn.
of course I came. No, I didn't came. No, not
Okay.
that way.
Okay.
Okay. I like that.
Maybe
I mean-
maybe you're too excited to
Yeah,
go to the
okay.
supermarket.
Me personally, I need something else. But
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I open the door and I say directly, Mbak, Marlboro putih satu. Okay. And she she took the cigarette
Yeah.
and then she gave it to me, 45,000, sir.
45. Yeah, she say it in English.
I asked her in Indonesian. She responded in English.
You're gonna be like, but I just came.
I just came and I'm quite lemas.
We're tired.
It's like I came aso.
Baru aja came, oke? Boleh nggak? Ini aku tahap capek, ya, oke?
Anjir.
But I mean, yeah, maybe that's the thing though, because sometimes like I'm very happy in other countries if people do that, because that's the only thing I know.
Yeah,
usually.
yeah.
Because if I say like hi in another language,
yeah.
and then they keep speaking in that language, I'm like,
Yeah.
You feel like, what I'm gonna say?
exactly,
Yeah.
But maybe that's what she thought, right? Mungkin.
Yeah.
I don't know, but yeah, I don't know.
It's because like maybe again if that cashier didn't know who you are, then she just look at your face,
Yeah.
and then she would be like, this bule only know to ask cigarettes and didn't know other thing, you know.
Tapi what I think it's all the locals doesn't think that when we're bule we like English, you know?
Yeah.
Tapi doesn't mean like itu.
I just realized what she meant. I mean, like a local would think that a bule would specifically know how to
Just-
order cigarettes in Bahasa,
Hey.
and that's it.
Because they need only cigarettes.
They just need cigarettes, so they learn
that's important.
specifically how to buy
important.
cigarettes. That's like going to another country learning only how to buy alcohol.
Teorinya bagus juga sih.
Right? That's all you need. How much? You know? How much? What's
Can I buy
that?
cigarettes? That is the only thing I know in this language, and that. That's it.
Yeah. So yeah. That's quite of my story.
Yeah,
I know.
but like I'm still curious about you like fixing people's bike.
Yeah.
Do you pay it yourself or they
Yeah, I
pay
pay
you?
No, they don't.
They don't pay
me.
you?
No.
Why?
What
Why
kind
should
of
I?
business model is this?
This is a quite a difficult business model.
I would think so.
Jadi hari ini bangkrut kita ya hari ini ya.
I would think that it is quite a difficult.
So basically, so because I'm a content creator, I'm like full time right now since like 3 years ago. So what I do, it's like, okay, when there is a brand, Sapiens on a video and stuff, I take like 30% of the amount of the fee, and I putar lagi modalnya.
Okay.
From there I get the. Cuman when I started, it was all on me.
How long until you get your first brand like sponsor?
Yeah, I mean like. Maybe,
A year?
around there lah.
Around there,
But
and then
that's
you just
crazy.
keep.
I mean, like, depends because I was doing a lot of contents, you know. I was
Okay.
not doing only fixing bikes. So basically, from the first day I start doing contents until I get the first endorsement, let's say endorsement, it was like maybe a year.
Okay.
But after that, because I was like doing it every day, so basically, let's say maybe in a month there was like 2 endorse or like
Okay.
3,
Alright.
depends on the months too. So, but when I start doing the first content of fixing bikes, maybe in 2 weeks I already got a brand.
Okay.
But you really were then before that. I mean, doing it for just the love of the game. You just love doing it. Or is it?
Yeah, because I realized, you know, like I really love the sense of making people laugh. You know,
Okay.
I was doing funny things before and stuff. You know, like, cause
You're
like
dancing on TikTok.
no, I don't do
Okay.
that. Doing like this? Nah. I don't do that, man.
I like how
That's like
you said make people laugh. You're a comedian. Why that's the first thing?
oh
you
yeah,
say?
too.
There we go.
Make people laugh for what?
Can I-
It's not dancing. Doesn't mean.
Doesn't happen.
Hey, but if I see you dancing on TikTok,
Honestly,
I
I
will
would
laugh.
laugh.
Yeah, with all my fluffy tummy there.
Nobody would
Woo!
work. Imagine we're dancing at TikTok. You know, that's not.
I was laughing my ass off. I was like, what the are you guys doing?
After this, we're doing a TikTok.
Okay.
No.
I mean, like, but yeah, I mean, like, back then I started. So why did I start doing TikTok? Because I was already in this industry.
Okay.
Since I was in 2011, 2010, 2011, I started like my first FTV.
Okay.
Okay.
I was doing FTV, blah blah, right until 2014. I moved to Jakarta. Then I was in the real industry, you know, where your dad used to be,
Uh-huh.
but no anymore. I really know why. And then
I wonder
yeah, I mean like and then I really loved this industry. You know, like it's just my thing. I just like it. You know, like I feel happy. I think that all the ideas I had in my head back then, I couldn't like, you know, like when I was in the industry of TV, I couldn't like put it out.
Okay.
Okay.
So when I started the COVID and stuff, it's when I put it all of my head, what I had in my brain and stuff, as a content, the contents that I'm doing, and I got until like right now where I am.
How do you like choose bikes or cars that's like really urgently needed to like fix?
Well, that's a really good question though. But normally there is no, as long this guy I see that he really needs it and the bike is really messed. I mean, like it's totally like up. I would fix it.
And also, it's not like you have to fix it, right? Because it's content.
Yeah.
So like,
Well, the contents that I do, it's all real. It's not.
no, of course. What I
Yeah.
mean is that like, let's say if you're a like, you know, mechanic that you actually get
Yeah.
paid for it,
Yeah.
then that means you're like, okay, whoever pays, you need to fix it.
Yeah.
This one is like, if someone asks you this and
Yeah.
then they're like, well, you don't
Yeah.
have to fix their bike. Because you're not getting paid for it.
Yeah, I still eat the.
What?
You get what I mean?
No, but like can you just like say no?
But the thing is, this is the thing, Aska. So, the process of my content when I fix bikes is, I I look for a guy when I'm driving around, right? And then I see this guy. Okay. Motornya hancur banget. So basically the first thing is the bike because that's the point of the content, right?
Of course.
Then the second is the guy.
Mm-hmm.
There is a lot of like bikes that I fixed that the guys are not nice.
Okay.
They're like like pissing you off. You're trying to help them.
Yeah, and then
Oh,
they're just like, they're ungrateful.
I'm grateful, mother.
Okay.
Sorry to say that, but yeah. But you have to
You're doing
deal
it for
with it.
free. So
Yeah.
yeah.
You get what I mean? And then, so I just like, focus on the bike and stuff. And then the guy, I just don't focus on the guy.
Okay,
Like, there's parts that used to be, it has to be like a testimony from the guy on my contents and stuff.
Okay.
But if I don't get the feeling with this
Then
guy,
you're not gonna. do
You're
that.
not
I don't
gonna
gonna,
do it.
I'm gonna
Okay.
put that scene out. So it's
So
only the bike.
that's how you know if he doesn't like you. If there's no testimony, he doesn't like you.
Makanya jangan kayak anjing kelihatan.
That's how you know, guys.
But do you ever have like someone their bike is fine, right? But they just want like, hey, can you modif my
Oh,
bike?
banyak,
Just
banyak.
kind of like.
banyak.
Do you take that
No.
request? No.
No.
So you just solely fixing that bike.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean,
If there is quite a friend of mine, they have like Ducati bikes and stuff, and then they want me to fix it.
Why?
Ducati udah mahal, right?
yeah.
It's like let's say minimal 100 juta, and then you want me to fix it?
Do they pay you?
Siapa kau?
If they don't pay you, then don't do it.
Ya, itu beda cerita. Ini
See, what
ojol
I-
aku bantu.
What I would do on the people that are really mean, you just put like a little kill switch on the engine. Yeah.
Oh, that's smart.
Oh!
That's
You're
smart.
like, here's the bike. It's really mean, right?
Oh, perlu.
He just drives away.
Inilah.
Or-
Inilah otak-otak licik harus ditelepon bapaknya nih.
Or change the horn.
Change the horn.
Change the sound of the horn. Just kind of like, I'm a I'm ungrateful.
It's just like a clown car.
Yeah.
Make it a clown.
Just
But
kind of like
back
change it.
then there is a klakson
Yeah.
yang dulu sempat viral. There was a request from a guy. Back then when I was in junior high school, klaksonnya itu from motor Mio, a motor Mio.
No.
I
You know
used to have
You know
one.
Mio?
Yeah.
No.
Diskriminasi orang ini nggak tahu Mio ya. Oh yeah, you have to play with me ya.
Okay.
Nggak pernah miskin, Pak.
Oh, mau kenalan sama miskin? Nanti aku kenalin ya.
I don't know what it means.
She's quite funny.
Yeah, it's so aware.
Nggak pernah miskin, saya suka nih. Oke, kaya. Aska joking ya.
I know. What is a Mew?
Mio is a brand of a
Yeah,
bike.
Okay.
it's a brand lah. So back then, the klaxon of the Mio, when I was like quite more younger, they use it like something like this. Yeah, sumpah, sumpah,
Okay.
sumpah. And then this guy, he's quite old, okay? And then he used to be anak gaul back then,
Okay.
yang suka balapan liar, okay, yang suka racing and stuff. And then he asked for a horn like that. And I said, where do I find this klaxon? There is no more production. So I was like, I had to play the klaxon again, blah, blah. And then finally I make him
You
happy.
made it yourself.
I made it myself.
Well, but then there we go. So you are happy doing these kind of things.
Yeah,
right?
I'm
You're
happy.
It's just happy to help people.
You're happy to help people.
That's
That's oh, I know that. Okay.
yeah, that's Mio. That's Mio. So if you're asking me, I'm happy to help people or not. I'm 33 years old, right? And I think I found my purpose
Okay.
with helping people. It really changed my personality.
Well, then there we go. We fixed your problem. You said that you were sad about fixing vehicles. Now you're happy.
Yeah.
Here is the
The
bill.
bill.
Thank
Oh
you
yeah,
for
this
coming here.
Yes.
Here's the bill for the drink.
mahal.
Yeah. 3 million.
Aku miskin, kau kaya. Aku yan.